We don't know what we're talking about, so.
Are you going to ask me questions?
How are we going to do this, Serge?
You're journalists.
Yo,
you should have questions.
We are so happy to be in Atlantic City tonight for the Codeswitchin episode 7 podcast.
I know what I want to talk about, so I'm gonna start it off right away. It's gonna be a controversial concept.
And I have Mr. Febo right next to me.
Yeah. Once again, this
a fucking legend.
This spiritual presence, man.
La leyenda. It's like a legendary Pokemon.
Word. Like right next to me. That I can use. I can tap in if I need.
So we're here at the Resorts Casino for the LSU, MSU, Lambda Sigma Upsilon, Mu Sigma Upsilon annual convention. We got a couple of amazing people joining us. This is Sergio and Rodimus for the Codeswitchin podcast.
It's Rodimus.
Yeah. We're with, introduce yourselves, the two of you.
Introduce yourself.
Oh. Hi, I'm Alicia Torres from Matriarca, Montclair State University, spring 2008. That's who I am.
What's up? This is Dennis Febo, Boricua, Brooklyn, New York. What else can I say?
So
That's it. You've said it all.
There you go.
The really cool thing about our Greek letter organizations is that we get to choose the names of our actual chapters, unlike kind of what is called mainstream organizations, which is really white organizations. So the reason that we're here, and the reason actually me and Rodimus met, is that we're in a fraternity, and when a lot of people hear that, they got this idea of a bunch of like white dudes sodomizing people, and that's really not what it's about. Multicultural Black and Latino Greek letter organizations are an important part of the culture, and we're here to, just celebrate that today. Dennis, you did a workshop at the convention yesterday. What was that about? And it was deep because it was closed door only. Once you were in, you couldn't get out or in.
Yeah.
The doors were locked to the convention hall.
I just spoke a little bit about the concept of race and racism, where it comes from, how people identify, how most people don't really understand the structures that they subscribe into. So the workshop was an attempt to deconstruct those notions so that we start to build a better sense of community without having to explain the concept of race to each other or incorporate racism into the things that we're saying and we're doing.
And you deal with this on a day-to-day because you set up an organization. You actually teach people in prison, is it?
Yes, sir. I run culture and social consciousness programming inside of the Hudson County Correctional Facility in New Jersey. I also work with in the juvenile detention centers in New Jersey and with at-risk youth on this to come out into the community.
So how hard was that to get? Because it's got to be really hard to go up to a jailer, and be like, I want to teach the prisoners about their consciousness. They don't
so you got to kind of be familiar a little bit about what goes on in your local politics, because sometimes most of us are a little bit against the governmental structure. Sometimes there's key people in there that are really trying to make a difference, and if you're paying attention, you might be able to hook that resource and use it to create a different language, different terminology, different programs, different systems that are going to actually create an impact inside of the community.
You work with all these at-risk youth and things like that, which I do as well for a living. But I kind of wanted to talk about like masculinity and what it means. Where's this guy? And what it means in 2016, right?
Well, there's the masculinity. Is you trying to talk about a topic that'll oppress the other gender?
No, I'm not trying to talk about another topic that'll oppress the other gender, because I had a brief conversation with someone who will remain unnamed, but I had a brief conversation about like why I can't get behind most of the ideals behind what I call the second wave or like new age feminism. There's a lot of things that I can't get behind. For instance, like in the 60s and 70s and even 50s and earlier movements and waves of feminism fought specifically for like targeted rights.
So women were fighting for very basic...
women were fighting for like some real shit, right?
So what is this new age feminism? Tell me more.
I feel like a lot of times new age feminism kind of becomes male bashing, and it's like it seems to me like a lot of times it becomes like this bratty kid sister fucking argument that only serves to further polarize not even the genders, but just like people even more. Like there's just so much already just like keeping people apart, and I feel like this second wave of feminism is just.
I think maybe the word feminism should be like just be done with, you know, because I think that men can still.
Well, I don't know. You were making a face, and I want you to like put up
women.
Yeah.
You know, and even now in our society, women are still not treated equally, economically, financially. Women aren't treated equally. Men, absolutely. I've been in many meetings where a man will take possession of the meeting and he will just run with it. And it's very difficult for a woman to get in because we're more emotional. And so we're willing to take a step back and think before we speak, whereas men are much more impulsive and logical and are willing to take control of a situation or a meeting because that's what society has told them that they can continually do.
But you know what? Like, not to stop your argument.
No, you're fine.
There's a thing that you said in there, like women are more emotional, men are more this, men are more like. There's a difference in it. I feel like in my mind, I was raised by women, all right. So I don't have any like male figure in my life that stuck around long enough to make any kind of difference outside of fucking Sylvester Stallone and fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. So like.
So the manliest men of
the manliest
Hollywood.
fucking men.
All right, so that's your example.
Form this fucking brick of Spictino you see before you.
That's scary.
I think feminism and masculinity have nothing to do with the actual genders themselves. Whereas you can have a woman who's masculine and a man who is feminine. Right. But we're saying that each human being embodies both components, right? We enact the both. But men have been put in a position over the course of time, been put in a position where we had to reject our own feminine components and become sort of what we call hyper-masculine in order to control, at the end of the day, economic stability in our own future, because we had to guarantee that whatever whoever she gave birth to was our child.
Yeah.
See, and that's where it all comes from. So at the end of the day, these systems are now archaic because you have paternity tests, you have different relationship structures that really have nothing to do with whether or not you're a man or a woman or masculine or feminine. And the end of the day, it has to do with inner balance, right? If you can embrace both of those sides, if a man can become a bit more emotional, whereas a hyper-emotional woman could become more logical, then each one of those sides now provides that stability. On top of whether or not we're labeling it New Age feminism, whatever kind of structures, whether or not we're saying that women aren't treated the same as men.
And there's an issue with words and labeling because everyone's kind of changing what the definitions are at this juncture in time. And there's more women in the workforce than men. There's more women graduating from college than men. And now, like, women CEOs are skyrocketing. It is now changing. But the problem is that since women had to embody the masculine in order to get to that point, they're taking away the feminine, right? Which is, in any tribalistic society, women, they were matriarchal. Women made those decisions. And men understood why women needed to make those decisions because they bring the heart into it. Yeah. It's going to be harder for a woman to send their child into war than it is for a man to do so. So since we've been disconnected from these processes, especially from the point of perspective of an oppressed society, we're lost, right? Men are not in touch with their emotions, and women are suppressed to the point where their complete lack of spiritual understanding, which is why there's a lot of discord amongst the inner circles of women. So depending on the society, depending on the group of people, what geographic location, and what structured society, some women are doing better than men are. You know what I mean? So I think, overgeneralizing will take it away, but I think we need to get to the core of it. It's just we need to start embracing. Men need to, if you feel that you're hyper-masculine or in touch with your emotion, you need to become in touch. You need to be a feminist. Bottom line. I just want everybody to know that I showed up to this convention to be around my bros, and I have like a bright pink luggage in my room that I carried in here.
I didn't hear a word you said.
My pink luggage.
Oh, that's. I would never wear pink luggage.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you use the color pink?
Listen, I understand that it's ridiculous for me to say that I would never like rock pink luggage, and it's like I'm a Dominican man, you know what I mean? And I was taught that that is that's for girls.
And I think that Dennis made a very good point in it's a balance, because in life we kind of learn that there needs to be a balance in everything, right? And so, but a lot of those things, those very cultural, traditional things, I'm a Dominican man, so I would never wear the color pink because,
Well, unless it was a shirt.
Right.
Because Dominican men,
They started the
if
pink
it's a
wave,
pink
bro.
shirt, we're wearing it. And it can't be, it has to be, if it's a loose shirt, we can't wear it. It has to be hyper tight.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, but we've talked about this, and I think you mentioned the Puss Jungle joke like 9 times, and we're only on the 7th episode.
Well, because listen, the Puss Jungle joke has landed me in hot water more times than not. But look, this is what I was saying. Like,
well, it is now that you're broadcasting
very articulately, right? So I was gonna go into emotion. Like, to me, emotion doesn't make you necessarily feminine or masculine. What it does is it makes you a person.
Yes.
Like, we all have emotions, and how you handle those emotions makes you the type of individual that you're going to be.
Right.
So I may have an emotion, like someone may piss me off, and I'm like, oh my God, you've made me so angry because you violated my ego to the point that I want to take this
But
hammer.
you never tell them that.
Well, I want to beat the shit out of you till you die.
Right, but there's a better way of saying it, and you can say you
course,
hurt
the
my
better
ego.
way- the
But
better-
men typically say you're a whore. Fuck you. That's what men.
Yeah, and what do
typically
girls say? You're a fuckboy.
Well,
you're
I
an
know,
asshole.
and that's where
you
I
have a
think we
little
need to
dick,
speak on-
like things like that. Like,
I think that because we need to minimize you in order to
Exactly.
put you in any type of place.
like men need to villainize you, and you need to minimize us.
Wow.
So we hurt each other in essence.
So, but if everyone could just learn how to communicate.
Well, the world is full of. Listen, I've said this many times on our podcast. The world is full of cunts. And listen, Antonio is
Love
joining
that
us, and you have
The biggest cunt of
delightful
them all.
Suit. I wish everyone
And
could
Antonio
see
is.
how awesome his suit is.
I'm about
Thank
to
you,
get
guys.
because I want to go dance personally.
You're gonna go dance.
Alicia,
So you need another female in here.
you're an amazing spoken word artist.
Thank you.
You do a lot of good things.
Oh,
You've
Antonio
gone
left.
to
Antonio left.
some
That's
really
what you're doing.
crazy parts of the world to do some work. Give us a plug. Where can people find your work, your social media, whatever?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So I'm an artist. I work specifically with like archival ink, so that long-lasting ink. It's recently been called Zentangle. That's what I do, I guess. I don't know. But a lot of my art is displayed on naked.i.art on Instagram. So I like spelled like an I, like EYE.
And honestly, like.
Let her finish.
Art
Let
is
her.
fucking amazing. I'm sorry, like she wasn't doing it justice. She's like being. You can see her art is fucking dope.
Thank you so
Like
much.
fucking seriously dope.
Yeah, and I'm a spoken word poet too. I've been doing that for a very long time. And you can see some of my stuff, some clips there on the same website.
And some of which
page.
were run by the Upsilon organization.
Yeah, no, for sure. I didn't get my voice until I became a Mew, which is,
I'm still working on it. I'm working on getting up
so
there.
it's an amazing organization. It really gives a lot of opportunity and empowerment for sure.
Come January at the Barachu chapter's slam poetry in Manhattan. I'm definitely.
Yeah, no,
performing.
I'll definitely be there too, slamming once again.
Oh, you rock the house.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, I'm gonna go dance bachata.
Don't
listen.
Don't break
Alicia,
any hearts.
We have to get you back on this podcast because you were just too awesome.
Word, get me on here,
To
bro.
not talk.
I love
We need to
podcasts.
talk more shit.
Let's go.
Shit talking
Let's
was-
go. Let's
shit talking on
fucking
fleek.
go. No, for real though. Have me back, dude. We'll do
Anytime.
it.
Get you back.
All right, guys.
Alicia Torres, everybody.
Have a good night, guys.
And God damn it, Antonio Reyes is here.
Guys, what's up, man? I just have a quick question for you guys.
Is it a philosophical question?
How did you two come together? You guys are very different people. You guys have very different characters. I just want to know how you guys came together before we talk about anything else.
Well, Rodimus is a stand-up comic. We had our first podcast last year called Mikey Business with another comic and two other people actually. Then that was short-lived, and then we decided a year later to bounce back, just me and him.
That's a very short version of the story, and it is. Listen, I met Sergio years ago, right? We were like the frat and shit, and I was always cool with Serge.
And Rodimus.
You guys are very two different characters,
Yes,
though.
but I
very
would always
different.
talk to Serge randomly.
Right.
Like randomly. Sergio is a great dude. Like
Absolutely.
if I wasn't like an artist, whatever, like I would still fuck with Serge because he's a great dude. Like he's honest and he's like someone who's like not a cunt.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I would talk to him every couple of months and stuff. And so like one day he told me he was trying to start a podcast, and I was actually thinking of starting a podcast. That's when Mike Your Business came up. It didn't work out so well for us, but we kept it in mind because things did go well. A lot of things did go well, and I think we both reaped a couple fruits from that endeavor. At least I did.
I mean, we had some pretty good episodes. They're still on YouTube.
We had some pretty good episodes, so some good things came of it.
Right.
And then, like, we just kept working. Like, Serge is a dope dude.
Definitely.
And I like the fact that we think a little bit different. Or I don't think we think differently. I think we speak differently.
We speak very differently. Like, you have more tact, and I will say things like, you are a stupid asshole or a cunt. Which is my favorite word, by the way.
And Sergio would not say that, right?
Sergio would, like, if someone said...
How's your cursing in the show
I say
so far?
you can be completely uncensored.
Okay.
Now,
how's your cursing, though? Do you really curse much in the show?
Have you listened to the show,
I have
Antonio?
not. I would admit.
But
I'm new
Sergio's
to the
not
show.
curse like that in real life. Like, I talk on my... like,
He does not.
Like,
exactly.
this is my show.
This is you.
This is my show.
And this is you.
Sergio's show. So Sergio talks like Sergio talks.
Right, absolutely.
I talk how I talk.
You guys keep it 100% raw.
And the word cunt comes out of my mouth quite frequently because most people that I encounter are cunts.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Chris is here too.
Yeah, we're joined by somebody else.
We're joined. This is an interesting podcast. Introduce yourself, please.
You've got
I don't think I know. Introduce yourself.
Who are you?
So just real quick, I just want to point out that I'm sure these gentlemen have mentioned it, but we're currently just outside of the LSU convention and MSU convention.
Can you explain to me what LSU means, please?
So
sir?
Lambda Sigma Upsilon is our fraternity, and Mu Sigma Upsilon is our sister sorority. And these gentlemen are not only this podcast hosts, but they're actually members of the fraternity.
And
too.
you're a regional director.
I
of
am
our
the
fraternity.
regional director.
You've gone so far from a guy that when we first interviewed you to join, because we're from the same chapter for guys that don't know. You said we asked you what can you contribute to the fraternity, and you said I have swag.
I remember that. I remember.
That's literally what he said.
When
in his
I was
first
an
interview.
associate, they asked me what can I bring to the chapter, and I told them swag.
You should have seen our faces.
And I did bring swag, not only to my chapter, but to the region too.
And to the earth in general. No, but Antonio's a very extremely well organized man.
Matured a lot more since then, and hopefully bringing big things to and good things to this fraternity. And but I want to talk about different things with you guys, and maybe not today, but I definitely want to talk about some interesting topics.
Well, they'll make people turn
in
off
the
the
ratchet division.
So yeah, be ratchet. Listen,
touch upon it, man.
And I just want to let Chris introduce
Listen,
himself
our
first
podcast
too.
is called Codeswitchin because as primarily Latino people,
right,
and people that are not privileged in most parts,
right,
we have to code switch. We're all bilingual. We got to talk the professional language. We're all here in suits tonight, but then we're all from the neighborhoods we live in and the place that we come from. We got to talk the language of the hood. We got to talk the language of being a fucking man like Rodimus is.
Listen.
So
I can code switch like the best of them. Like
talk into the microphone.
I can code switch like the best. I have a fucking people forget. I have a fucking master's. I have a fucking. I make good money. Like I have that James Bond fish tank. That is like it's a coffee table, man.
No. I gotta see that.
Right?
That's nice. So tell us who you are, brother.
My name is Chris, and I'm also one of the members of the fraternity LSU, and so I'm just here.
Chris's
listening
chapter
to you
just
guys.
won chapter of the year, by the way, so congrats to him.
Yes, we did.
What chapter is that?
The Zikari chapter, which is at Penn State, and that's our second year in a row.
That is a bastion of whiteness, Penn State.
That is a poppin'
It
school.
is.
Like
It
you,
is.
sir.
So well, basically, what I imagine is that a bunch of white people will turn over a car and set it on fire, and then somehow you guys get blamed for it.
Does that happen in your school?
That's how I imagine.
People have flipped over
an
cars.
LSU
before.
chapter
Not
at
flipped
Buck
over,
State,
but
at Penn State.
they've rocked them. Like I don't know if you guys remember, but like when the whole scandal was going on, there was a lot of like rallies and riots.
Which scandal? Which scandal?
Sandusky scandal.
Sandusky. Okay.
You wanted me to, you know which one it was. You just wanted
That's
to say
exactly what I did wanted you to say. Actually, yeah.
That's
yeah.
when the guy was molesting the child and he got defended, and then they found
he
it.
was
Then
diddling
he
some
finally
kid
got
up his
arrested
asshole.
and what have you. And
Kids,
people freaked out.
kids. So not just one.
He diddled mad kids.
It
up
was
their
kids.
ass.
It was different kids at different times. Yeah.
Rodimus talking to the mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So what I said was Sandusky was diddling kids up their ass.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's
That
gross.
And I know that. And I look. I know that sounds crass, but we have to put this in perspective. Because child diddling is not okay. That guy
No.
should be shot in the face when you see him.
Absolutely. He's only in jail though, and he's probably gonna rot in jail. And
He's like in jail, like eating salami, like in Goodfellas or something. Like,
So,
not
wow.
even like eating salami, like some black dude named Salami who's feeding him dick.
So were you there for those riots at Penn State or no?
I was there. I didn't participate, but I saw some of the gatherings, some of the rallies. It was pretty crazy. Yeah, it was a very interesting time to be there during that atmosphere. Like the atmosphere just completely changed. Like it was very dismal.
I was really torn about it because I like riots, but I hate white privilege, and I know that, and we've spoken about this on the show, that like when people riot for good reason, they get a bad rap, and when people riot for bad reasons, they get away with it.
Hi, what's your name?
Oh, my name is Nicole. Hi.
Hello. Hi, Nicole.
And by the way, just give you a heads up, Sergio. I'm Sergio's chapter brother. That means that we went to the same school. Different times, but we actually managed to be in the same school at the same time. And Sergio would do amazing things, but sometimes he would actually want us to skip school, sit in class,
and do some fuckboy shit.
And
as if you weren't already skipping school.
Infiltrate homes.
All right. I'm glad that Antonio brought that up. So I'm gonna direct a question to both Chris and
Sergio. And we have somebody new. You can speak into this.
So this is my question, right? Like, so there's a climate of change in the air, right? So
Can you tell I'm totally sweating?
the military-industrial complex is like no longer a theory. That shit is real as fuck, right? So like anytime a college kid, like when I was in college, right, and I was a freshman in 2004, right? So when I was a college freshman, I would talk some shit, and then maybe I got a couple of my friends together who wanted to do some stuff.
Grab a chair.
Maybe the cops were called on us.
Right.
And then, like, when we organized protests, they told us, okay, they gave us a map of where we could protest. And I remember...
They gave you a freedom cage?
And I remember my friends...
A freedom cage.
I
like
crazy.
When we did it, we partnered with other groups because we wanted the most people possible. We're like, yo, this is going to be, like, the biggest blood set in the fucking world. Blah, blah, blah. But, like, I remember, like, my friend who was, like, in charge of the group, like, which is why we ended up parting ways. I was like, listen, I don't fucking want to do this with this fucking group. And he was like, why? And I was like, because if we do it with this group, we have to go under the campus map that these motherfuckers gave us.
And the freedom
The
cage.
campus map is like, yo, there was like this big thing. It was like, you go into Binghamton's like fucking
desert.
Like, their new union, which was like this big empty space, and it goes right on
So
the
you
fucking road.
you called them out. You called them out for wanting to follow the rules that were set for them.
Exactly.
We spoke about this a lot at this convention without
let me
going
finish.
into
It gets
detail.
worse. It gets worse, right? So it goes right out into the fucking road where you can't see shit, and so I told him, hey, listen, like we probably shouldn't be doing this. All right, we're gonna get in trouble if we fucking do all this stuff. So he was like, nah, fuck it. Let's go about it this way, So we fucking go about it that way. You're gonna go straight that way and make a left.
He just gave.
Someone just asked me where the bathroom is.
Yeah, where the bathroom is.
Anyway,
Drunken people are coming out of the banquet. We're actually joined by somebody, so hurry the story so we can introduce
all right,
her.
make a long story short, the cops gave us a mandated map of where the fuck we could march, and if we stepped outside of that, we could be arrested for like whatever charge they wanted to give us. It was fucking ridiculous. So I was like, this isn't real marching. This isn't real fucking protesting.
Absolutely not.
Like that.
Absolutely
and
not.
I was like, yo, like, why don't we just get together to the campus? Like, there's so many of us. They can't arrest all of us.
Exactly.
But yo, you scare the right people at the right time in the critical points.
And you will get.
And you create a world of pussies, which is where I wanted to lift off, and I wanted to open that platform to you guys. So
yeah,
you guys jump in on
What do you think? Did you win an award just now?
Yeah.
What's your name, sister? We have a sister that's joined us from the banquet.
Hi, my name is Nicole.
Hey, Nicole.
Hi. I'm a sister of the Almea chapter of Music Upsilon Sorority Incorporated, spring 2015.
Nice.
And
congrats on you're a neo. You're
thank
not
you.
a neo, but you're this is your first year actually. Yeah.
Well,
right?
it's my, I guess, year 2.
Yeah.
Almost.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Congrats. Hey.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am unbelievably proud. The first thing I did was like run out and call founding mother Sylvia
Wow.
and founding mother Lillian and let them know, because they both live in Orlando with me and I've known them since I was a child. So
Nice. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, so you was destined to end up with the baby blue and white.
well, that's the thing though, is that my aunt is also a sister.
Oh,
So-
you was gonna be MSU before you even was born, girl.
So you didn't have that problem. A lot of my chapter sisters, at least, had this issue where like they want to pledge the sorority, and they're like parents. You know, our parents are immigrants. They don't understand sorority, fraternity, what it means. And like I had my chapter sister Sally, so she told her parents, and her mom thought she was joining a lesbian cult.
Actually, because my aunt pledged before me, my family had more of an awareness of what it did and what it does for you as a person and the type of growth that you can acquire after becoming a sister. So once they knew, that it was really going to happen, it was a big deal for them because they knew that it would have a positive impact on me.
My mom and dad were just saying, la droga. Tú estás haciendo droga. And they thought I was going to be a fuck boy, party boy.
No, well,
that's
the
it.
thing is, my grandparents were like, good, let's get you some discipline.
That's right. That's something that, that's another thing too for, we are a minority, base pretty much. And we have a lot of minorities in our fraternities and sororities. And, it's a new culture, especially to our parents and the grandparents, and that's one of the many things that we have to deal with. And it's definitely interesting trying to explain that. I know I have brothers that have not explained to them or have kept it away that they're in an organization, in a fraternity actually. So it's one of the other things that we have to deal with.
Yep. A lot of
You're in a fraternity?
That they will hide from their parents that they're in a fraternity because they don't know how to explain to the parents, or the parents don't know how to handle
I'm
that
gonna
information.
say something about that. Look, I come from one of those families,
Right.
and those brothers, I don't know who they are,
Right.
but I want you to know, and I hope that you're listening. You're a fucking pussy, because at the end of the day, now listen, like you go to college, you're at least 18 years old.
Absolutely.
You're a fucking man, and you are the reason why the world is burning because there's no men. And grab hold of your fucking cock, like they say in Spartacus, and be a man, like.
And kick
Like
the door.
listen, my grandmother called me when I was pledging. I told her I was pledging. She didn't grasp the concept, and
Right.
I told her everything, and I told her, hey, I paid X amount of dollars, and she was like, will you lose that money? I'm like, yeah, and she was like, then be a man and do what you need to do. That's what she fucking said to me, and hung up
Absolutely.
the phone.
And that is a
Grandma's a
Be a
feminist.
fucking man.
That is a
Grandma's a
feminist right
champion.
there.
That's right.
My friend, my brother.
What's up?
Talk to us about your initiatives. You got anything you want to plug? You
My
too,
initiatives,
Antonio.
like personally or
Yeah. We do plugs. We get people followers on social media. After all, that's the name of the game.
My
Of course, Antonio has many.
my hashtag on Twitter, Instagram is N_Tony O. You could go check me out over there.
I'm on the podcast, guys.
And I would love for you guys to, follow. I'll follow back. Obviously, I'm not a superstar. I'm not somebody famous, so I would definitely, check you out.
He'll bring swag to your page.
And I'll
will.
bring swag to your
the
pages.
occasional swag and
I just want, before I head out, I just want to say to you guys, I definitely want to come back in your podcast, and I want to talk about, the hood topics. And I want you guys to just, that one time, let's just talk about a whole bunch of hood topics, like Instagram and all this other stuff, that's keeping,
You guys sitting
I
down?
guess, what we care about in the hood, right? So, hopefully, we set that up quick and we hold it down.
Word.
Well, listen.
Always glad to have you.
We-
my brother, you have any plugs real quick?
plugins. I mean,
we got a line
I'm just
over
really
here.
on Instagram, DOCV_4. So, yeah.
Every time there's a riot at Penn State, you're gonna
Yes,
cover
sir.
it for us.
All right,
It was a pleasure to have y'all.
take it easy, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, take care.
Y'all sitting down? Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, subscribe to the podcast, man. Let people know about it. Sally, you got to get in.
We're doing a podcast.
Who are you, my sister, my queen?
We just have a rotation, like a rotational panel at this point. I literally turned around. There's someone new at the table.
And I'm glad to be here. What's this about? Tell me.
I'm glad you are here, and I would love for you to introduce yourself.
Hello, guys. I'm Layla from the Bronx, New York. Book it down, book it down.
Huh? What? Plug it right now.
Real quick, it's back Antonio. I just want to say that LSU will be tomorrow in the National Puerto Rican Day Parade, and hopefully you guys can come and support.
This won't be edited in time, but you definitely got to catch
I also will be
YouTube.
there on a comedian's float.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Deadass?
I'm supposed to be there. Yeah, I don't know if I'll make it back in time because
So
my bus is at
hopefully,
11:15.
when this airs out, you guys would have catch us or go to YouTube. But we want to post up a whole bunch of stuff, man, and just follow me, follow LSU, LSU79.org, and also follow the New York Region 4 chapter. It's a New York Region 4. I forgot the Twitter, the hashtag, but it's all
LSU marches
good.
in a lot of events. The Puerto Rican Day Parade, the Dominican Day Parade. We
The
were at
AIDS walk.
the Gay Pride Parade last year.
Yes, we will. And we will be there.
We stole the show, the strollers. That was amazing. Anyway, my sister.
Yo soy boricua, pa que tú lo sepas.
America, fuck you.
You know that article that came out that said Puerto Rican women are genetically like perfect? Did you ever
Is
see
that true? I believe it.
I didn't want.
But I'm also half Dominican, so does that mean I'm half?
I disagree because it's racist, but at the same time, it's true. So I don't know.
I don't know. Listen, man.
I mean, I think the article was pretty.
I read that shit,
accurate.
and it just seemed like it was just someone who was like, that woke up drunk, was like, I'm so Puerto Rican.
But I also heard Puerto Rican women are crazy, so I don't know.
Well, having almost married one, it was worth it.
Okay.
Look, I love Puerto Rican women. They are amazing. All women are amazing.
They weaned me off of white girls.
But I just find that article ridiculous. Like, Puerto Rican women are genetically, like, what kind of Hitler shit is that?
Yeah, I
like,
don't know.
So what do you have to say about that, you fucking asshole who wrote that article, you piece of shit?
So, what's your name?
Layla. For those who don't know.
Layla, how are you enjoying the banquet tonight?
It's pretty cool. I'm having fun.
What chapter are you from?
The Temisquira chapter.
Long Island?
Woo!
Westbury, right?
Oh, Westbury, that's right.
Oh my God, I had so many.
You're
Lion
like
brothers.
very new, right?
I am like 5 years new.
Oh, that's very new to me. That's very new to me.
I had so many line brothers,
what are
line
you?
sisters.
I'm
and
05,
they
so I'm deep in
disappeared.
the game.
Your line sisters?
Yeah, like I haven't seen them since
Nah,
we
they
pledged.
didn't disappear.
Tell us about what Mu Sigma Upsilon. You know, you guys had a lot of workshops this weekend. Some really good stuff. I was filming the whole convention, so I walked in on the sex workshop right as they were talking about like strap-on sex, which was the perfect time to walk in. Yeah, no, I think I had like 1,000 eyes looking at me at that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
were you there for that?
I wasn't there, but what did you learn?
Well, no, because I was managing 3 cameras in 2 different rooms. I was just coming in to switch the batteries and check the code. But I mean, it was a beautiful thing because you know what it is that your sorority had a workshop about sex, about BDSM, about all these crazy things. And the only way I feel like to criticize my own organization and my own gender is that brothers really only learn about sex when they like steal each other's computers and look through their porn. So it's very informal. And you ladies are trying to really help each other out.
Yes, and also about keeping it safe and wrapping it up. But I mean, you know, we like to inform each other of the things that can happen. We have to because of everything that can happen to us that's out of our control, such as being catcalled in the street. Imagine being a 12-year-old and somebody saying, "Hey, yo, ma." Like, I would be petrified if a grown man. Can I curse on this?
Well, the problem isn't that they're not saying "Hey, yo, ma." They're saying "Oye, mami, ese moñoñón." They're saying some really horrible shit. So I got in a fist fight one time with some guy who said some shit like, and I was only like 13, and my older sister was 16, and he said something. He said moñoñón. All right, for those of you listening, moñoñón means pussy.
Wow.
It's a very specific type of pussy. It's
what kind of pussy would that be?
It's a very fat, very thick pussy that looks very nice.
Sounds amazing.
And he said that about my sister.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In any other context, I guess it might be a compliment. Don't fucking describe my sister's pussy or what you think my sister's pussy looks in front of me and then to her. It was a weird situation. So I did what any good, upstanding American would. I punched him in the face because I
Good
was
job.
so
Good
confused
job.
about that.
And we need more men like you because anybody else would have been right there along with him, agreeing with him. So shout outs to you for protecting your sister.
Yeah, listen, like when all else fails, you punch your problems in the face.
Yes, everyone, punch your problems in the face.
You got any initiatives or anything like that? Any plugs, social media you want to drop on us? Any nuggets of wisdom?
Any nuggets of wisdom? I know I like nuggets, but I don't think we all know what kind of nuggets we talking about.
Hey.
What? No, tell me about this podcast. What is this about?
So we're code switching, because
Okay.
as we named it code switching because as people that are one step in the professional world, one leg in the our background, and a lot of us are from the hood. We have to speak two languages. We gotta, and not only with that, but with people of different genders in our careers, what have you. And we wanted to have more representation of people that look like us and have been through the shit that we've gone through.
Okay.
To talk about real shit, and we can speak double languages. We can be crass, we can be intelligent. Sometimes it's both at the same time. So that's code switching. That's this
Yes,
podcast.
interesting. I'm actually.
It's a very unique podcast because we also talk about anything and everything at the drop of a dime, right?
Okay.
So we started this podcast talking about masculinity and what it means, and we ended up talking about someone describing my sister's pussy down the street. So there you go.
That's a pretty interesting.
Way to put it.
Yeah.
But is that
It
not
was code switching.
exactly what happened?
Wow.
He put it so nicely, and then I gave you a different code for it. I gave you the actuality.
He switched the code, which is what we got to do on a daily basis.
He gave you the nice version. I
That's
gave you
right.
the real.
You got to understand, when I first pledged in 2007, people were still wearing like baggy cargo shorts, baggy pants, like FUBU shit.
Yes, I've seen the
looking
pictures.
like we're from the hood. And like now we're here and all suited up and stuff, 7 years later. And it's like we're the same people, but we're different. We can handle both things. It's like the meme, get yourself somebody that can do both. We can do both.
Yes.
Well, listen, I'm not wearing anything baggy. I feel like I'm dressed pretty nice. But it's because I'm pretty. And
you get any Tinder hits while you're out here? I didn't.
I did. I got like 5 Tinder hits.
Wow.
Every time I'm in Jersey, my Tinder is on fucking fleek.
The Blanquitas love that.
Thank you, New Jersey. Thank you, New Jersey, for the vagina you've given me.
Yes, I agree. I want to concur.
Get some of your chapter sisters out here.
Yeah, you know what? Oh my God, Serge. Pervert Serge is
What
the
pervert
best
Serge?
Surge.
I'm asking because we're
he
recording.
Said, get some of your chapter sisters out there. You're not thinking to yourself, oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
I didn't
She's
say.
like, yo, I don't give a fuck. I look pretty in this camera. That's all. That's
I
what she
didn't
cares
Am
about.
I not enough? Like, what is going on?
Listen,
I thought I was perfect. First, I was perfect, and now you asking for all of my friends?
Listen.
You fly. You fly.
You're enough.
You fly.
But
You just want to switch it up?
I didn't say like
we were
yo,
code
come to the.
switching.
Well, we got a spare microphone. I didn't say come to the jacuzzi in my room. I said come to the table to podcast.
Really, guys?
My brother, come here. Come on the
Join.
hot podcast.
Yes, join the podcast.
You just won chapter of the year, did you not? And another award?
Yeah, so the Zikari chapter at the Pennsylvania State University, we won chapter of the year.
Wait, I don't know what you're saying. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry about that. So the Zikari chapter of the Pennsylvania State University, we won chapter of the year, which is actually second time in a row. So back to back.
Nice,
And
congrats,
then-
guys.
Thank you. And then we also won a Community Service Award for the most hours done for chapter. We accumulated over 500 hours to receive that award. And then I personally, my name is Anthony Alberici. I won the Alberto Rivera Award.
Okay. That's awesome.
So what kind of things did you guys do to accomplish this?
Endless amounts. So as far as like chapter of the year and everything goes, it's an endless amount of not only the work that we put in to sponsor our own events or co-sponsor events with other organizations, but also just showing an endless amount of support to other organizations and clubs on campus, building relationships within the departments of the university, and doing our best to utilize all the resources that they give to us so that we could be as successful as possible. So from what I understand, the Alberto Rivera Award is basically an award that's given to a brother who seems to exemplify what it is that LSU stands for.
what does that mean to you?
As far as what it means to me is, before we were a fraternity, we were a movement, and we adopted these letters so that we can make a difference. But even with those Greek letters and even with being a part of Greek life, we still want to maintain that traditional ideology of what is a revolutionary, what does it mean to actually strive to make a difference. For me personally, I just want to make sure that I adhere to all the goals and adhere to everything that LSU stands for myself, so that I can be a good role model and a good representation of what I feel that is to be a revolutionary, to make a difference in the community that I belong to.
Do you feel that you've been a revolutionary? And if you have, how so?
It's hard to really say because there are so many great revolutionaries in the past, and our founding fathers are
obviously you didn't lead an armed militia through a fucking Cuban mountain or anything.
Although when you go to school at
But
Penn State, you may have to.
Right. I don't know. I'm just being the devil's advocate here. I'm not trying to be a dick to you.
I have another question for you too.
Okay.
What's your background?
I'm Italian.
So you're an Italian guy in a mostly Latino fraternity.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, I'll answer yours first about being a revolutionary. Like I said, it's hard to say if I've been a revolutionary. What I do understand, though, is that I see that there are changes that need to be made in the world and on our campus especially that we can actually focus on, since, we're one chapter. And sometimes in order to make a greater impact, you have to focus on a small scale and allow it to grow. And with that being said, we try to do a lot of things that adhere to different social justice plights on our campus. Be them for people of color, be them for the LGBTQ community. And with those, we just try to spread awareness, and we try to show our advocacy and show our support. But we don't just support others. We try to take that step forward and let others know, like, there's more to it than just being like, oh yeah, like I'm allied with the LGBTQ. No, it's about educating yourself so that you can educate others. You know what I mean? And with that education and with that knowledge comes power, and with that power and expansion of mind comes the revolution.
I feel like this brother, he gave a very genuine answer. He was like, the shit he said was like, it wasn't like, well, I want to be down with the LGBT community so people can think that I'm down. He said some shit like, listen, I get that you're LGBT. I want to understand you. I want to get where you're coming from. I'm going to say some shit. You're going to say some shit. And we're going to understand each other, and we're going to coexist. He said some positive shit here.
And I'm going to hear it when I edit it. I had to step away from the mic for a second.
No, but I wanted to highlight how important this is. And I wanted you to know that I see it. Like,
did you talk about being Italian or being white? No,
I actually didn't. So interesting. So I am Italian by blood, but I was born and raised in America, actually backwoods Pennsylvania. I grew up in the countryside with no neighbors, all white school. And obviously being in an all white school, I was exposed to racism, but I didn't really understand what racism was because I didn't see it implemented onto people. But it didn't come until later in my life when I started to understand a little bit more, because my godfather is black. And I went to an all black neighborhood in Virginia to visit him, and an all white neighborhood is where I grew up. And then I had a black girlfriend when I was in like 4th grade, and my classmates would crush Oreos. And that was the first time that I realized that hatred is real.
So basically, you're the thing that memes are made out of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wait, they crushed Oreos?
They would crush Oreos, yeah, and put them on like my table at lunch to make fun of me for being like what they would say, quote unquote, nigger lover. And it was one of those things that even though I grew up in an all-white community, I never understood the amount of hatred people had to people that they didn't understand. And I knew that other people existed. It's funny because like I heard of Latinos, I heard of Spanish, like the language, I've heard of the food, but I had never actually seen it or witnessed it. And then I moved to Hazleton, Pennsylvania, where there's a big influx of Hispanic minorities migrating there, yeah.
I'm going to say something like that. That is awful that they crush those Oreos.
It's disgusting, yeah.
It is actually disgusting, but those kids are fucking creative as fuck. To crush Oreos and put them on your desk as a form of nigger lover, I would have never thought that. Like, if I was a racist, I would just be like, let's just write a letter on this guy's desk, not like crush Oreos. And you understood that right away for being what it was.
Yeah.
So I think, and we're doing this podcast to talk about the
like the racist Batman.
Codeswitchin is about crashing down these barriers, but the fact that it does take a lot of work, and a lot of reactionaries who are there's a lot. And the Black Lives Matter movement takes a lot of credit for this, and they should, for calling white people out on a lot of the bullshit that they do. But a lot of white people are nervous because they feel that a movement to dismantle white supremacy is a movement against every individual white person. And the line that I told, and being in this organization has helped with that, is that, I'm merciless with calling it out. And I love the fact that there's this trend of people feel comfortable kind of shitting on white people sometimes funnily, sometimes not. But I feel that there's people like you and people what people in the social justice community call allies, that I feel that the benchmark for them is that they come to people of a different culture, whether socially, politically, or what have you, on their own. Despite the feeling that maybe like they're gonna get a lot of shit for doing that, both from white people and from people of color who have an axe to grind, and they do it anyway, and they surmount that barrier. And those are the one, when I talk about race, and I know a lot of really conservative people would say this about me, maybe I'm some sort of hater or something, or I'm a racist myself. But no, because I know that there are white allies, and they will own their whiteness and come and be friends with people of color and allies and people that'll support you. So that's what I see in this fraternity a little bit, and I love it.
I'm gonna say something real quick before I introduce you.
Before the third Long Island iced tea.
So the first thing, whatever, Sergio, fuck you. The first thing I'm gonna say is I don't agree with the term ally for several reasons. My problem with the term ally is because we are all people at the end of the day, and to suggest that someone is an ally would mean that they are the other. You know what I mean? And that's already a separatist movement, and already something that's so fucking polarized. You know what I mean? Like obviously you are a man who grew up around like quote unquote minorities or people of color or whatever. I don't know. I never drank that shit. So to say ally, I don't know. I don't know that I'm comfortable with that term. You know what I mean? Like
it's a term that very few people use, but the people that use it, unfortunately, and I've spoken about this, they're kind of in the activist bubble. But I think it's a worthy word. But then again, I'm an activist and you're a comedian. So
you're
totally
an activist.
Different.
Like, but honestly, we're both activists in our own communities, in our own right. Like, my comedy is about saying some shit, and your shit is about like quote unquote doing some shit. So whatever. Even though I feel like I'm doing some shit in my own right, like
my white brother. Do you have any initiatives? Anything that you want to plug? Social media?
Yeah, so there's something that I do at the Pennsylvania State University, at least as an undergrad, that got me involved in working with people with disabilities. Is one of the things that my chapter tries to focus a lot on. There's a classroom called LifeLink PSU, and it's a classroom on the campus that allows high school students in their last 3 senior years with intellectual and developmental disabilities, so it'd be them Down syndrome or have autism on autism spectrum, and this classroom gives them the opportunity to go in through the campus with mentors who are volunteers and students to take them to college courses to allow them to further their education alongside peers their own age, rather than staying in high school with younger kids until they're 21, because that's when they're kicked out of the school system at 21. And so I just want to put that out there. LifeLink PSU. They have a Weebly if you want to check out the website and get the contact information. I believe it's weebly.com/LifeLink PSU. And you can learn a little bit more about the classroom and get the information. If you wanted to donate, you can call the number that's listed on there. They need the funds to, they're a nonprofit because of the school district. They use the funds to provide community experiences to help these kids grow to independent living. So,
yo, listen, my brother, I want you to understand, like, for a living, I work with the homeless population, and because of that, I work with an array of like people on different broads of like how cognitive they may be, either from people who are on the spectrum to full of, like, for lack of a better word, crazy. And I want you to understand how positive that is, that you and your chapter works with people like that's very difficult, and I acknowledge that.
Thank you.
That's very positive.
That really is the next spectrum of human development. Listen, man, keep on doing the good work.
Thank you.
Get everybody at Penn State listening to this podcast.
Definitely.
And it will become a source of information for that school.
Great. Thank you.
All right, I took a card and everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I get you, but then
yeah,
people are looking.
it's like weird out here.
You're the man.
Thank you very much.
Ludi.
Guys, so much stuff is happening right now.
He's periscoping drunk.
And I'm not, listen, first of all, Sergio, you need to stop putting me on blast before we have a full-on argument on live TV. That's what's going to happen.
I will word police you.
You can word police me all you want, but you are accusing me, like, first of all, my liver is made of iron, sir. And whatever, go fuck yourself.
We have Lorene Valentin,
right.
a woman that holds a very special place in my history because she was there when I
don't look shy.
took the
Don't
step
look shy.
to get
You
in
are
touch,
on camera
get in
right
touch
now.
with my Latino side and join this organization. And she gave us a lot of really good advice. And she's hard as hell. You should see her when the cops.
And she's so pretty.
You should see her, and that too. But you should see her when the cops are raiding a house and she's in it, and she's taking
And she's a thug.
complete, utter control of everybody that's panicking in the house, and getting them to calm the fuck down. Lorene Ludi Valentin is here from
Listen.
the Codeswitchin chapter of Music Upsilon.
Listen, you know what I will say about you? The word Valkyrie never meant anything to me till I met you. You are a fucking Valkyrie. This is a Valkyrie, like an actual Valkyrie. You're a Valkyrie.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm actually a founding sister of the Ebony chapter of Lemoyne College, pledged spring 2002, and I'm an alumni of the Kia Thyra chapter of State University of New York at Buffalo.
Which won Most Improved Chapter of the Year for MSU tonight.
Yes, they did. They won the Rising Star Award. And my cacique won the, Muse Star Award.
Nice.
This was amazing. An incredible night.
I mean, like, honestly, guys, the people, like the 5 people that listen, there's like 20 people that listen to us. Five of them don't know what a cacique is. Could you please explain it to them, Lori, please?
Sure. Yeah. Everybody calls me Ludi, by the way. Cacique is the leader, an Indian chief within the Taino tribe. And so to be deemed a cacique, it is one of the highest honors and one of the most hardest jobs there is, because you are literally the leader of your tribe.
So, like a chieftain.
A chief, yes. The chief of your tribe.
That's fucking amazing. So you are a chief of your tribe.
Yes, I am.
And a warrior.
Yes, I am. I'm an
So
Amazon.
in essence, everything I said about you being a Valkyrie is absolutely true.
Thank you. I'm humbled by that.
All right. That is the quality that I would expect to see in a Valkyrie. You know?
It's a quality that I expect to see in all our women within this organization.
Amazing. You are, oh my God. You are awesome. You are
I appreciate
so
that.
fucking awesome. I just want you to know that.
I appreciate that.
So what have you been up to these days? Because it's been like 10 years since I've seen you.
Yes.
I had a full head of hair that was
you did.
almost down to my mid-back
Yes,
when you
you
last
did.
saw me.
You
Now
are
I'm
great.
bald and like I look very... I'm surprised you recognize me.
Of course, those eyes. How could I
They're
not?
massive. They are massive.
So for the last 10 years, I mean, I've just been personally growing. I work for an amazing organization, a healthcare union. I've worked on several campaigns. One of the first campaigns that I worked on, which was fortunate for me, but unfortunate in society, was Sean Bell.
Awful, yeah.
And moving the city. And I think that the values that were installed in me through MSU and through our brothers LSU really have pushed my career into community organizing or being a part of it at any aspect. Right now, I'm a part of it on an administrative level, which is really important. And I think it's something that I'm excited about, to bring back everything that I've learned and instill it within my district and within the organization. Social justice is very important, especially right now at this point in time in history.
So one of the things that Serge and I always get into like discussions with or about is revolution. And my biggest belief is that revolution, the biggest and best revolution happens in the soul of the person. Not necessarily like galvanizing an entire community, but
Right.
it's more so in the soul of a person.
Right.
So you were, in my mind, like this huge and very important part of my process. So I want to hear about some of those things, because you spoke a little bit about, you touched a little bit about how much you've grown
Yeah.
and some of the struggles you've gone through, without getting into too much detail, that it's,
Right.
that you don't want to get into. But like, I want to hear a little bit about your growth process and what the years and experiences have taught you for our 2 younger listeners? I don't know, whatever.
I mean, I guess when I started into my career, I had just graduated 3 months out of UB. I was really lucky to land a job in that industry. And to be honest with you, I had no idea that I was a part of such a prominent organization. I mean, as Martin Luther King Jr.'s favorite union out of 50 states in the United States, out of all the places in New York. That's where they're located, the headquarters, the local. And, we get into these things to make money, to have benefits, to do something with our lives, and I had no idea what I was a part of. And then it evolved, and I developed once I started steering away from the Upsilon world and getting more involved within extracurricular activities at that job. Like, you wanted to stay later, you wanted to be a part of the labor movement, which is very important right now because it's being attacked by the Koch brothers, as you know, and that means that it's hurting our people of color, people who come from where I come from, first and second generation or third generation immigrants. I'm a second generation United States citizen, from the United States. I mean, my family's from Puerto Rico, so we call this the mainland. We don't necessarily feel like, we are the United States. We are a commonwealth within the United States, as most people know. And so, I grew up in the hood. I'm from the South Bronx. So to be...
That's the hood.
Yeah, that's the hood.
That's the hood.
And it's still the hood. I still live there right now.
Forever, that's the hood.
And so to be able to go to college, I went to a Catholic school, which is unheard of. My parents worked 3 jobs to put us all through Catholic school, to be the first generation to go to college and then to join a sorority, which is definitely unheard of.
What Catholic school did you go to?
I went to Monsignor Scanlon High School.
You went to Scanlon?
Yeah, man.
Holy shit.
I went to Scanlon.
I went to Mount.
Yeah. And then I go to Lemoyne, which is a rich Republican college.
We got another Mount alumni with us just joining us.
Crazy.
Introduce yourself real quick, brother.
Stefan, Spring 09, Biaku.
Amazing.
Just chiming in, Mount alumnus.
So you were saying, your parents put you through private school.
Yeah.
Which my parents did too. I wasn't raised by parents, by the way.
Right.
I was awarded the state, so my growing up situation was very different.
Right.
But your parents struggled and all that stuff.
My parents were young when they had me. So my grandparents raised me, actually.
Okay.
And my whole family raised me. My mom.
Tribe.
Yeah, it was necessary.
Very
yeah,
tribal.
Very
Right? They
tribal.
had to get tribal with
And I'm the eldest of all the kids of my mom had. And so, there's a lot of pressure as a woman, as a Latina woman, to be the best, to be the first, to complete, to do what your parents couldn't do.
Of course.
And on top of that, you feel responsible. Because you're the eldest, you feel responsible not just for your tribe, but for your community. You got to make it out. You got to make it out the hood, and you got to make something of it, and then you got to come back and bring it back. And that's what I've definitely done.
It's interesting because, I got to get my older sister on this podcast at some point because she says so much of the shit that you just said. Like, she was this, this young girl who all of a sudden had to become a woman.
Yeah.
Because so much pressure was put upon her.
Yeah.
She had to kind of be like a matriarch when she didn't want to be it. And to this day, she's still kind of playing the role. I'm not sure if that's how it works for you.
Yeah, you lose. I feel like over the last 10 years, I definitely realized that I lost a lot of my, I now gained my identity. Like when speaking to a lot of gentlemen, such as yourself, I realized that a lot of the growing pains I went through my late 20s into my 30s now, you guys went through it your teenage years. I didn't have time for that. I didn't get to do that. I had to help raise my sister and my brothers, and my cousins, take care of them. And then be responsible as a mule for all these little babies coming in. And then I'm a founder.
Because you're a cacique.
Yeah, because I'm a cacique.
Yeah.
So then we got 10 chapters springing
up
out of
You were
nowhere.
always the HIC.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, so, I say that my personal growth being as a woman started after I left. These last 10 years, being involved in social justice, civil rights movement, improving my finances. That's not something that we necessarily focus on, especially
Which
women
is
of
very
color.
important, yeah.
That hindered me. A lot of people don't know I was married. I'm currently getting divorced, and I wasn't. That hurt me. I'm not talking about personally. I'm talking about financially. That affected me because I wasn't.
And that's a testament because I had no idea about that. All I knew about you for the past couple of years is that you're doing amazing work in healthcare and all sorts of other things. So you really are handling your business.
Honestly, Ludi, no idea that you were getting divorced.
Yeah.
No idea. I'm so sorry that this
I
happening
don't need to put that at. No, it's an amazing thing. It's a part of personal growth.
No, I mean, but I don't like the personal finance thing is fucking amazing, and I hope that you become the richest motherfucker I ever met in my life.
I just want to come back and bring everything that I learned about about life, about career, and install it within our
want to
girls
grow
so
too,
that they can be stronger.
But I just want to make sure that your soul is good.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
you said, revolution starts from the soul.
In the soul.
Yeah.
So I don't want some I don't know who you're divorcing. Sorry.
No.
I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
But
the game.
I'm on your
Divorcing
side.
the game.
It's fine.
The man.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So I mean, I just think that it's our duty to bring what we learn back into our organizations constantly. Leave, come back, and grow. Help them grow and be better men.
Yeah.
Ludi, you're amazing. I want to quickly introduce the other, and I want to do plugs with you too. You can stick around. We'll share four microphones with 5 people. Real quick, the two brothers that joined us, introduce yourselves.
Again? Okay. Stefan, Biaku, Spring on 9.
And you are?
Francel, Barachu, Fox 2012.
Right. Before I forget, Ludi, you got any plugs, any social media, anything you want to let our listeners go to?
No, not right now. I don't. I'm not up and coming yet. I put all my stuff down.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Ludi, I got to say, I know this has nothing to do with anything. You look exactly like the last time that I saw you.
I have that J-Lo blood,
Yo,
We're all
you
vampires.
Wow.
Us Puerto
Like
Ricans
I
are
told
all
her,
vampires.
she said you like crazy horse. I look back. Oh my God, it's fucking Ludi. Holy shit. But like not like an older Ludi, it was fucking Ludi.
You are one of the few people that will, and talking about the cops raiding the house, that'll tell a bunch of younger dudes that are like panicking and be like, yo, you don't know what the fuck's going on, chill the fuck out, or you're going to be in holding. This is what jail is like. And then be like, I love you.
Yeah, yeah, there was, you know how it gets. You have an Upsilon party, it gets a little rowdy. We're in Buffalo, so you don't know what kind of cops we're dealing with. And it got a little intense, and so instead of, I guess I felt responsible since I was one of the eldest sisters or people there that, I stepped up to the cops and I said, chill. And got everybody to calm down, and then they were still rowdy. And I had to make them understand that, you don't talk back. You just got to calm the fuck down, break it up, and roll out. Because you don't want to get slammed up by the cops. I personally have, and it's not a great experience.
You don't got to talk back to a cop to prove you're superior to a cop.
Yeah.
In every way. We spoke about the yin and the yang early. I don't know if it's earlier in this episode or in the previous episode. I don't know how I'm cutting this episode, but you are the yin and the yang, Rudy.
I appreciate that. Thank you so
much.
Guys,
let's talk about this banquet for a second. Are you guys having fun?
I'm cooling. I'm chilling. I ain't got it.
Listen.
I'm just lax. I can't say nothing.
The last time I chilled with you, Stefan, was the beach party a couple years ago.
That was a while ago. That was many moons. My brand is still fresh.
Francel, how you enjoying the banquet?
It was sensational, man. To see a whole bunch of brothers from different generations all come together, brothers and sisters. It's something that both organizations really needed.
I'm going to say something.
You guys let Rodimus say something.
I feel like both organizations need one another. Like, convention every year should be like this. It shouldn't be MSU alone or LSU. They should have their own thing. Honestly, to strengthen the organization within its core. But convention should be understood that it's going to be LSU, MSU. In order to drive in the fact that, hey, this is like, this is a real org where we have our sister component and the brother component. Like, you're going to fuck each other. Like, stop being so bitter about it. That's honestly what it is. Like, LSU, listen, man.
There were definitely a couple awkward stares in the resorts this morning.
Listen, the sisters that I have banged, thank God. that they are understanding, beautiful women who, you know, I've never dated a sister, so I don't know what the fuck that's like. But like, they've never given me grief about anything.
To anybody who's not in Greek life or even in this organization, this is such an esoteric conversation. But you know what it is.
Like, listen, if you're a Crip, think about, oh my God, I've dated my step brother down the street who's selling more drugs than me. Except the drugs that we're selling is the fraternity.
Ludi's
and I want you to fucking wear my tiki. That's all it is.
I will say that, to support your statement,
yes,
Rodimus, I think it was evident when both PA chapters won Chapter of the Year, right?
Yeah.
They were PA chapters. For the chapter of the year for the brothers was from Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania for MSU swept almost all the awards, so that definitely supports. They are both strong together. They swept it this year. They worked together, so that's a great way to back up your statement. That's what the internal logic is. When one thrives, the other thrives.
Chapteral.
We're talking about on a professional business level.
Yeah, well, we're talking about, I think it's one of those things where there was a little bit of a structure where it is separated by gender for better and for worse.
Absolutely,
and,
yeah.
I think both brothers and sisters, and even if you're not in the organization, are capable of doing amazing work. So we work in the structure with which we've been historically handed down, and we do amazing things within that structure.
I think that, listen, I think that honestly, it goes back to some of the stuff we were talking about earlier in the podcast about men versus women. I don't think that there is a true men versus women.
I agree.
I think that it's a thing that's been fabricated by the people who run those organizations and that run the media. Like, it's always like, well, feminists this. Like if you listen to feminists, and there's what's the new movement? Menist or Meninists? Meninists.
I'm not familiar.
They sound stupid.
Because you sound like one.
I'm not a
Meninist. I know you're not.
I am not a fucking meminist. I am a feminist, my nigga. I'm a fucking feminist.
I don't know. I just think that if you want to touch on that, I don't know if anybody's made a comment on that, but I agree with you. I mean, there can't really be such thing as men versus women just because of you on your level, we on ours. You can never know what it's like to be a woman. I can never know what it's like to be a man.
Yes.
You really can never know what it's like to be a woman. You can understand and you can empathize with my struggle. But you don't.
I
live
can
in
never
my
understand.
shoes.
Our struggles
never.
are different, but they're the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not harder. It's not harder to be a woman than it is to be a man. It's just hard. Both of them. It's hard to be a woman. It's hard to be a man. The struggles are very different, but they amount to the same amount of difficulty. You know what I mean? And it's fucking crazy. Like all the shit that we're fed via television and music videos and all this shit. And like, sometimes I feel like the argument. You have siblings, right? I feel like this, and I was trying to explain earlier on the show. It's like if you have a sibling, they try to trivialize it down to the bratty kid-sister argument. Well, if you can do this, I can do that. I'm like, what the fuck
it's
is
so
this?
much deeper.
There is a lot of
that.
argument for the sake of argument. I think it's because we're detached from action, and that really is what a lot of what it is.
I think too, it's a hyper.
Oh my bad.
Yeah,
you have a thing.
Yeah, he has a thing. I think, the society right now, but especially in the last 58 years, it encourages anxiety.
Yeah.
It's a society that encourages anxiety. This is why a lot of TV, a lot of programming, social programming
3 times
is important.
fast.
What?
It's a society that
promotes anxiety. A society that promotes anxiety. A society that promotes anxiety.
Son, I haven't
MK Ultra.
I'm familiar with addiction on some level, but holy shit, having edited so much video in the past couple weeks, and the primary thing being just looking at Facebook, and the fact that it takes me so out of it, but just looking at negative opinions, that is kind of true. Even for a guy like me that revels in the dark side and intellectualism and all that, listening to people's stupid ass opinions on Facebook is it's a drug. Dennis, people talked about that too, the chemical composition of depression being like heroin, and you can feel that. It is easy to get sucked on like arguing and things like that, especially when you're so powerless that you feel your only way to feel powerful is to argue and try and win.
I mean, if you think about it, sometimes a lot of the issues that we have as men and women together in relationships or, intimate relationships or professional relationships, a lot of that has to do with the social, with the anxiety that's being promoted, And so there's this pressure that you have to be like that love and hip hop, and I can't watch shit like that. It's too negative, to see that girls are like, oh, did you see this? Yeah, I'm gonna be like that with my man. I'm like, what? The real world doesn't work
first of all,
that.
I feel like those people who produce those shows, they hate black people and Spanish people.
Yes.
And
I agree.
And it's ridiculous.
With the exception of my casting director, the great Jill.
All right. Whatever, but they hate black. The show is fucking, to me, it's evil nonsense, and that is part of the problem. Like, we are being.
It's a superficial version
the masses
of us.
are stupid.
Yeah, it's a superficial version of us, and it hurts me to see shit like that. It really depresses me. I feel like we're so much more better than that, and we're definitely more capable.
The battle is for your soul. Like, honestly, it's not even for real estate. It's for your fucking soul. And like things like Love and Hip Hop, those kinds of shows are the assault for your soul. So like my younger sister, one of my youngest sisters, she's 19 now, but when she was 17, she used to love that show, and she couldn't understand why every time it came on, when we were in my grandma's house, I would always take it off, and I would not let her watch that.
Right.
And I was like, because it's evil and it's fucking nonsense. Like,
I mean, you guys thought that's what you're wasting your time on. That's what you're investing your time in.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We got mad shit to do.
Yo, but the thing is, what is programming her to think is like, listen, there are these attractive women who I want to look like. Everyone on that show is good looking.
So go to the gym.
They're all beautiful.
You're wasting an hour,
right?
Fucking watching this instead of going to the
They're
gym
all
and
beautiful.
working out.
Everyone in that show is beautiful, right? So men and women included, beautiful people, right? So you'll see a girl who's gorgeous, and then another girl will see her. She's like,
makeup does wonders. So
and then that girl will say something marginally intelligent, like, you know what, oxygen is air, right? And she'll be like, you know what, oxygen is air. And then she'll say something like, all niggas ain't shit, right? And she's like, you know what, men aren't to be trusted. I'm gonna be a fucking filthy bitch like everyone on this fucking show. And then men equally, they'll have some like good looking guy.
Hold on, they're busting the call.
I don't give a shit. They have like some good looking guy who has an 8-pack say some awful shit about women, like, yo, all women are whores, and my mom is the exception because she's kind of a whore or some shit like that, right?
God.
Stephen, if you don't say something, I'm making Hector take your microphone.
But that's what it is.
No, it's not even that.
That's what it fucking is, and it's toxic.
I don't know. I don't watch
I agree it's toxic. I just feel most reality TV is just a fabrication and a show of what's really happening. Everything is meant to peg dumb-minded individuals or those who are quick to be controlled or quick to be swayed in their opinion that this is life. And it's not life on a day in and day out. Because most of those people behind, it's like wrestling. You see wrestling, you see them put on a lot of theatrics, but in the ring, everything is real as far as the action. But what the outcomes are always controlled. And behind the scenes, they're friends, they drink, they go out to do whatever they want. And that's what it is
just like
now.
Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump.
I agree with you there, but the problem,
I don't know their friends, but
the problem is to me, like, the masses are so ready and willing to be controlled, and they're throwing their control.
Well, that's why they're looking for caciques, right? The tribe.
They're looking for caciques, except their caciques are fuck boys and fuck girls. You know what I mean? Like, that feed them nonsense about the opposite gender.
Yeah.
And that's where we get the war of the sexes. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So fabricated.
There's no more humans.
It's apparently it's not. It's all one and the same to me. We need one another to survive. Whether we have physical attractions, another topic.
Before I introduce the man sitting to my right, Stefan, you have any social media, any initiatives you want to plug for our listeners?
I do go by the rap name Proverb the Genius. I think all my handles proverbial stew. I can't remember. Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. Wherever you can find me, find me. And I'm on for equality, people. That's about it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I just got the snap, Miss Queen Luna.
Word up. We have somebody that's been in this organization that has been hosting this banquet for many years. You want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Carlos Hendricks, but they know me by Guarionex.
For our listeners, who was Guarionex?
Guarionex was a warrior who became a chief and fought very hard against the Spaniards in the early Inquisition of the Caribbean. And because of this, and because of what we felt would be a good character in the Upsilon family, I had the honor of using his name when I pledged for this great organization.
And when did you pledge this fraternity?
I pledged in the fall of 1979 on the Taino line. What an honor.
And so that's the beautiful thing, I think, about this organization, and not to just talk about it as another fraternity that differs from other fraternities, but I think the importance of heritage and keeping the family together among people of color is that somebody that is now, how old are you?
I'm 57.
Somebody that's 57 that pledged in the late 70s, before The Empire Strikes Back even came out, is now active in this organization and teaching young people about how to succeed in life.
Well, I've been in the organization for 37 years, which is more than half of my life. So I probably know this organization more than anything else that I've known. And it's a great, great pleasure to be involved with so many good brothers and sisters and people who just make this place a better world.
So you have any initiatives, any social media websites, things that you want to plug for our listeners?
We can plug in Que Viva la Music. We're playing music in Princeton, New Jersey every first Saturday of the month. It's third Saturday of the month. And more importantly, I just want to give a plug to all the Latino alumni of Latino Siempre Unidos.
Very, very nice. Very nice. So it looks like the banquet's finally letting out. What do you think is going to happen next?
I think it's going to be one of the craziest after parties hosted by Vegas, Hollywood. And we're going to be there trying to make it till the next millennium.
Hell yeah. Alicia, who was here for the beginning of this episode or the beginning of the previous episode, depending on how I cut it, just came back with an award. What the hell is that?
It's not an award. It's just a plaque stating that I have a master's degree now.
And they gave this to you tonight?
So since the sorority has officiated it, I officially am a master in my field, which is great.
Or a mistress in the
Rodimus,
field.
you look tired. I know you guys can't see him, but
I'm never tired. I'm
I
immortal.
I am filming, so I could put a picture of it.
oh, you could. Anyway, I have a master's degree now, and that's amazing.
This is the best thing of LSU, MSU. I hope they have like 100 more banquets like this. Yeah. I know I'll make it at least to the 99.
Yeah, me too. This was an amazing banquet.
This was definitely awesome, man. Philadelphia next year for LSU's.
And New Orleans for MSU.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You had to outdo us.
At least once.
You often do.
Thank you so much. It was an honor.
Ludi, always.
Yeah, love
Share
you, brother.
it. Spread it around.
Like you're asking me questions?
Yeah, we're talking about whatever.
We are going to access. Are we recording
So
right
we're
now?
back. The banquet's leading out. People are going to various after parties, but there's a sister here that's been very active in the convention. We're on. What is your name, sister?
Jerry Lee.
Now you threw one of the workshops. Your voice is out because you've been speaking so much. You've been active in a lot of the workshops. You threw one of your own.
I organized them all.
And you're an organizer, yeah?
Yeah.
You actually work with, and she was supposed to be here, Carlene Pinto, who was on the previous iteration of the podcast, which was Mike Your Business last year in 2015. She's currently in Texas, fighting for immigration.
The I Am Immigrant campaign.
Now, do you work with her professionally or interact with her? Or
No. I reached out to her for this workshop.
What is it that you
And because
do?
she couldn't come, I stepped in.
What is it that you do?
Me? I'm a full-time mommy. But no, I work at Cancer Genetics Incorporated, and I'm an executive assistant.
So what was the workshop about?
It was called Knowledge is Power, and it was about just using our platform and this organization to address some of these issues that are happening now.
Awesome. We got somebody sitting next to Jeremy.
Join in the podcast.
Are you related to any other Upsilons or?
No.
It was funny because there was a moment during a workshop where there was somebody from another fraternity that was giving the keynote speech, and he addressed one of the founding fathers of LSU, and he's like, "Oh, hello, you're Jose Sabater," and then I remember this clearly. Then you're like, you yelled, "He's founding father Jose Sabater."
I said that?
Yes, you did.
I'm really funny sometimes.
You corrected like a major fraternity official. And like,
Oh, probably, 'cause I could
called
do
him
that.
by his name,
Yeah.
his title. That was cute. It was
Yep.
awesome.
Because he's a man and you can do that. This is America. There's no more fucking,
Like
king
Birdman
shit.
would say, Women put run some the world. respect.
Yeah.
Put some respect
Put some
on his
respect
name.
on his name.
Put some respect on his name.
That's exactly it.
Who's your friend or sister who just sat down with us?
She's on the
This is our
phone.
sister,
Her name is
yes.
Selphonia.
She's from the Destinitas chapter.
Destinita?
Destinitas.
That's a great name for a chapter.
Bloomfield College.
Nice.
That's crazy.
You gotta
There's
get
so
get everybody at Bloomfield College in the area listening to this podcast, because the more people listen to this, you can promote events at the college there through the podcast, which you can access on YouTube and soon to be iTunes. I would love for this to be the first iTunes episode. Look at Jose Sabater walking by. We gotta get him on this.
That's my best friend.
Let me see.
Somebody's got to take this mic. Who's talking into it? You, her, both? We can share.
Hold on, little. Hold on. Hi, how are you?
Into the mic.
Hi, how are you? You can hear me?
What's your name?
Delilah Sade.is. Delilah Sade.is.
That's a hell of a name. What chapter are you from?
Destinitas chapter.
Awesome. How's you enjoying the banquet?
Amazing. You know why? Because my cacique put it together.
Who's your cacique?
Vivian Jimenez. Spring 95.
Somebody put their phone away from the microphone there. I'm getting mad static right now.
That wasn't me.
All right, awesome. So what are you doing afterwards? There's a lot of after parties going on.
Yes, actually, I have a trap house. We're very lit, so I'm going to go.
An Atlantic City trap house.
Yes, absolutely.
Listen.
No other way to do it.
This Atlantic City reminds me of Buffalo, which is kind of like Detroit. It is a desolate wasteland with a couple of amazing
This is my first time
casinos.
here.
It is the perfect mix of like tourist trap casinos and like trap houses like 2 blocks away from the
And
beach.
you know what? I have a trap house 2 blocks away from the beach. It's amazing. And guess what? We're going to get so lit after.
I love the Taj Mahal, but I don't want to support Trump. I'd rather go to a trap house.
You know what? I saw that Trump's name was in front of there, and I was like, wow, I absolutely cannot walk into there.
I respect that.
You know, did you vote? Because I voted.
Yeah, I did actually.
Oh, okay. I'm making sure. It's
Yeah.
very important. You know, we can't complain if we're not voting.
I voted. I got my mother to vote and my grandmother, who's like 85, to vote.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yo, that's beautiful.
I got them to vote for Bernie Sanders for what it's worth.
Did you watch the new Roots?
No, I heard it's brutal.
It's fucking amazing, though.
Yeah.
And you know what? And that just motivated me more to vote. Like, these people went through all this, and then they fought so hard to vote, and now here I am. I need to take advantage and vote.
I mean, the way I see it, because I've done so much more than voting. You know, you spend.
Yo, amazing. Congrats to you. Yo, I appreciate that because I wish I could do so much more, and I don't.
I've been on the electoral side, the radical activist side, the professional organizing side, and the way I
Word.
see, I'm at the point where I don't necessarily say voting is everything and does
Word,
it.
word,
But
word,
you know
word.
what? Don't invest your time in stuff that doesn't pay off, but you can invest a little bit of time in stuff that pays off a little bit.
You know what?
And voting is one of those things.
I have a very, I don't want to say different because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that think like me, but, you know, like, I have a very personal experience, and time is so important to me because I never know when it's going to run out. So I try to do as much things as matter, as much things that I want to do, as much things that I think I'm going to have fun doing.
Amen.
Spend as much time as with the people that I love. Spend as much time telling the people that I love them because I've had a very personal experience where life is short, and it's like, you know, maybe I won't leave a mark. Maybe nobody's going to remember my name, but you know what? Fuck it. At least I'm going to do something that, like, I can say I did, like, Because there's not a lot of people who can say that. There's people who go through our life, they're so comfortable with the life that they live. And I'm not comfortable
They
with the way
reward
that I live.
mediocrity.
I'm not comfortable with that.
You put respect on your own name.
Yo,
and
I
that's what
put
matters.
respect on Delilah Sade.is. That's my mother's last name, yo. That name is so
You know what? It's not
important
even
to
that.
me.
It, like, in all honesty, not even putting respect on your name, but like respecting your soul and the integrity of your soul. Like, because we belong. Like, currently we exist in the flesh.
Yo, there's so
but
much more than this flesh, yo.
Ultimately, we belong to the spirit world.
You know how much sins I create in this flesh?
Well, it's not even the sins. Like
sins, but you know how much beauty I create in it too?
You know how many sins and beauty are
But
going
how
to be
much-
created
but the
tonight?
beauty you
Fucking last night at convention? Shit.
Is you gotta think bigger. There's so much more to life. There's so much more than New Jersey. There's so much more than Atlantic City. Although it is my first time, and I will say I am enjoying it.
This is my first time in Atlantic City, and I gotta admit, like, this podcast.
First time in AC. I have never missed a convention, and I can't wait till next year when it's in New
when
Orleans.
did you pledge?
Fall 2013. Sorry.
Yeah, I've missed so many. I pledged 05. This is my second convention.
Wow.
I pledged 09.
And for the second time, it's like I randomly ended
Fall
up here.
2013, and then they said chapter of the year, Destinidas.
Word up.
Yeah.
You got to get everybody. Bloomfield College, right?
What? Yes.
Get
Bloomfield
everybody in Bloomfield College listening to this so that the more listeners you get, we can plug events there.
Yo.
Let this be a form of information
Yo.
for our circles.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is amazing, yo.
It is, yo.
This is amazing. You know what? You're reaching so many people out there. Like, I never thought about this.
That's the
Because I don't
idea.
really know anybody, like, in this field. But it's crazy. Like, you're reaching so many voices. Like, it's crazy. Good shit, yo.
All right, that's the idea.
Good
and,
shit.
And you're helping us.
Nah, you're helping me.
This
here
is
with
the
you.
power of positive thinking.
Yo,
And-
positive energy. You push it out into the world, you're gonna receive it back. Like, so you have to put. Have you ever read The Alchemist?
I haven't.
Oh my God, what is your life?
No, it's on the list eventually.
Alchemist, Power of Now. You gotta read all of that, yo.
And I can tell you believe it because I can tell you haven't had that many Long Island iced teas. And
Yo, I haven't. And you know what? Lits are my favorite because I get lit off of lits. You get it? I like tea.
this is why y'all are chapter of the year.
No, we're different chapters.
No, we're different chapters.
Oh shit.
We're
But
sorority
she's very
sisters,
close to
though.
my
Why your
Coca
sisters?
Secret.
Yes.
She is best friends with my co.
I just bought my ticket.
That is my
so,
favorite.
So unless somebody hops in, we gotta close it. You got any plugs? Any websites, social media? You
I
wanna
am
plug?
the plug at Threezus. That is the number 3 ZUS at Destinidas chapter _ MSU. We love you.
Word up, yo. This
Drops
has been.
mic.
Go talk to her.
Your focus was gone. It was off.
In the mics, guys, in the mics.
Your focus
There
was
was
gone.
another girl I was talking to who I did have sex with. It's very bad. It's very bad.
Yeah, you know what happens is when you mix business and pleasure, you kind of.
You know, I always mix business with pleasure. When people are like, don't mix business with pleasure, I'm like, what are you, an asshole? Like, that's what business is for. It's for pleasure.
Were y'all at the workshop about professionalism and the guy talked about mentors? You were there, right?
Yeah, I was
And
there.
the guy was like, he contacted the person that gave him the scholarship, and that woman ended up becoming his mentor.
Yeah.
And that was a really crazy, beautiful story about how he kind of got out of poverty, got through college, but like. Didn't you also think did he dick her down?
Honestly,
Because
if she was taking care of me like that, I would have definitely dicked her down a couple of times. I'd have been like, you know what, girl?
You gotta feel like you owe her.
You taking care of me? You putting me through school? You got me in the dorms?
This guy was
Dicking down
talking
this
continuing the relationship past college to hire her for organization.
You should probably buy tickets.
I'd rather go to the trap house than the Taj Mahal.
Listen, guys, we were debating about buying tickets. They're cheaper here.
It doesn't come with alcohol. It doesn't come with
I'm
alcohol.
not in the mics.
No, but yeah, definitely, if he didn't dick her down, he should consider dicking her down in the near future.
As a thank you.
As a thank you, you know? But like,
And
listen.
he should be able to dick her down on call also. Like, when she calls him. You know what I mean? Like, she should just be like, yo, come over. I need to get dick down. And he should be like, yeah, I'm down. Even if he's married with 5 kids, whatever. He has to be down. He owes her for life.
Yeah, that for real.
That's the
Changed
way.
his life.
The sugar mama life.
You know, he could have been a.
Nah, you know what? But like that's like, you like most like there's an epidemic of bitch niggas, right? And they'd be like, no, you're taking advantage of me. Still on the mic?
No, honestly.
Yo, but you because I'm hilarious.
Honestly,
tell
I just
your friends about me.
I wish I could find a sponsor like that or an older woman that is willing to take care of me. I'll be a house dad. I'll do the dishes. I'll clean. I'll wash the kids.
Hey, listen, I did that when I lived in Buffalo. I dated an older woman with a house, a career, a kid, and it is nice. You will never look at, especially for me coming like the end of college era, looking at women that kind of like look at you like, what do you got to offer me? I'm like, you know what? I've been with a woman that has 2 houses, motherfucker.
I got some dick to offer. What do you mean what I got to offer? I got some dick and I got some energy. So let's combine this and let's
and
get
honestly,
this
not for nothing, like I don't like to toot my own horn, but my fucking pussy eating game is amazing. And I eat the butt. So like bitch like
so I mean,
like how the fuck you gonna act on some real shit? Like because there's some bitches that's trying to get this dick. You know what I mean? Like
I respect that.
Yo, you guys introduce yourselves real quick. We didn't even do that. It's 11:30 at night at Atlantic City at the resorts. This is the shit that we talk about.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my name is Renee. I'm here for business and pleasure. Fuck it.
And you are?
My name is Chedu, a.k.a. Mankala Mandingo. I'm here for pleasure, and I'm just swinging the D.
This guy is a secret prince in Nigeria, and he swears that nobody knows. But if you look at how people live in Nigeria, and then you look at how Che lives in Nigeria, it's 2 different worlds.
Nah, I mean,
It's 2
but
different
like,
worlds.
listen, like what the shit you're saying is awful because we know Che has an alternate ego, and his name is Akon.
Yeah, I
so,
that is true
chill,
as well.
man. Lady Gaga don't need to be brought into this whole situation.
He's a really humble guy. He doesn't like to brag about
He's
his
humble.
wealth in Nigeria.
He's just
but
he's bringing light to all of Africa. It's crazy.
When you empowerize your own people for oil money, it's like you gotta just
That's
keep
enough.
it on the
That's
down
enough. I
low.
gotta get out of
You don't
here,
want
guys.
people to
Come on,
know.
man. The feds are gonna look for me right now. You can't be saying that.
Join us, man. You got a show right here. Yo, this is I love this shit. I love this organization.
They got me sweating. I have to whip out the handkerchief right now, man.
Man, anything you guys want to add? How was the banquet? Any initiatives, social media you guys want to plug?
Nah, I'm private. I don't want nobody to know my stuff.
Like I told you, reasons why you want to keep a secret life when you have so much wealth. There's reasons. There's reason behind this. You don't want people to know where you at, where your social media. People start connecting the dots. Like I see.
You really got me sweating right now.
It's all right, guys.
I can't even have a good time. I'm out here chilling with my bros. I ain't seen in a long time.
You have anything? We're about to wrap up. Anything you gotta get off your chest? You guys. Guys, this has been an amazing episode of Codeswitchin.
This has been a great episode of Codeswitchin, guys. Come through. Check me out. Check out my friends. We're funny. We're hungry. And we're changing the game. Follow me on Twitter at BadmanRad. Follow me on Instagram at BadmanRad. As usual, follow this podcast. So subscribe and all that good stuff.
Yo, and this is Sergio again, Native NY Video at Instagram, People's History on Twitter. Book me if you need somebody to do video for your events or photography. I'm about to go try and get somebody in my hot tub here at the resorts in Atlantic City. You guys are getting me ready to get lit. Let's get out of here. Last call in Jersey is 2 a.m. Let's do this shit, all right?
That's right. We out.
Wolfpack. All right. Yo, this is fucking amazing, dude. You look like you're ready to go. Let's pack this shit up, all right?